As we know in Torah and in Judaism, difference of opinions is the rigueur, is an integral part of Torah and Torah teachings. So here is a very interesting difference of opinions as to when was the commandment of building the Mishkan given? When was it actually carried out? What does it mean, when? We received the Torah. It came from Mount Sinai. And then shortly after that, to be precise, 39 and a half days later, there was the golden calf. So there's one opinion that says that the command to build the Mishkan and the donations, the participation of the Jewish people to build the Mishkan was after the giving of the Ten Commandments and before the sin of the golden calf. Another opinion says, no, that both. The commandment told to the Jewish people about building the Mishkan. And when did they start bringing their offerings, bringing their financial support, whatever they were able to give for the Mishkan? All this was after the golden calf and after Yom Kippur, after they were forgiven. Moshe Rabbeinu, as we know, went up 3 times. After he came down the 3rd time, Vayomer Hashem salachti kidvarecha, that God has forgiven, and that's when they were told to build the Mishkan, and they started bringing their participation. There's another opinion he takes in between, and in between. What's the third opinion says? That a commandment to Moshe was given before the sin of golden calf. But Moshe Rabbeinu, only told it to the people after they committed the golden calf sin. What's the idea? What's the difference of opinions? What is it telling us? Especially when we're talking about building our own Mishkan, our own, that we become the temple for God. So here is what the Rebbe explains beautiful. Mount Sinai represents where people were at their best. They were all tzaddikim. They were all righteous. The golden calf represents, unfortunately, when people were sinners. Yom Kippur represents after we repented and we were forgiven. So here is the discussion. On whom lies the responsibility to build the Mishkan? The tzaddik? The Baal Tshuva? The one who repented? Or maybe even the Rasha, even the sinner. So those are the 3 opinions. The tzaddik might think, I'm holy. I don't need to create a dwelling place down here in this world for God. I'm involved in godliness. I'm involved in holiness. Tells the Torah, Rebbe Tzaddik, you're in this world. You have an obligation to build a Mishkan in this world. By involving yourself in the worldly matters and make those worldly matters a abode, a dwelling place for God. The Baal Tshuva on his side can think, I was a sinner. I was involved in the mundane. I was involved in the physical pleasures and involvement, aspirations and quests and needs, what this world has to offer. I ran away from it. That's what I did, tshuva. I distanced myself from it, and therefore I should not be involved in worldly matters. Says the Torah, no. The building of the Mishkan was given to people who sinned and repented. You have to build a Mishkan. Although you're distancing yourself from the world, but distancing yourself from the evil part of the world, not from transforming this world for a godly place. The sinner can think, Who am I? I cannot build a Mishkan. I'm not worthy. Says the third opinion. Says the opinion that it was throughout, even when they were sinners, there was still the obligation because it was given to them prior to committing the sin, and they did it after the sin. In other words, throughout this entire period, the commandment still lays on them. In other words, building the Mishkan is the responsibility and the merit for each and every one of us. We each and every one can and must and thus build the Mishkan. So too we build the Beis HaMikdash. All of us are part in building the Beis HaMikdash. God, please, we want to see the finished product.